Good morning, Alex and friends. I'm Grace. Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024, and you're listening to Alex's News. The weather in Riverside today will reach a mild high of 69.5 degrees with a low of 48.3 degrees, perfect for outdoor activities. Coming up, we'll examine the growing concerns over North Korea's nuclear arsenal and its implications for American security. Then, we'll explore why experts believe physical therapy could be an underutilized answer to many healthcare challenges. Finally, we'll look at Belgium's groundbreaking efforts to combat the rise of single-use vaping devices and how their approach could influence policies across Europe. All this and more ahead on Alex's News. Stay tuned. Our top story this morning focuses on growing concerns over North Korea's nuclear capabilities. Joining us now with more details is our international affairs correspondent, Ethan Parker. Ethan, what can you tell us about these recent developments?
Grace, the situation has become increasingly concerning throughout 2024. According to recent intelligence assessments, North Korea has dramatically expanded its nuclear arsenal, now possessing approximately 50 nuclear warheads as of January 2024. That's a 70% increase from previous years.
Those numbers are alarming, Ethan. What about their capacity for further expansion?
Well, Grace, intelligence reports indicate that North Korea has enough fissile material A, that's the key component needed for nuclear weapons, to potentially produce between 70 to 90 nuclear weapons. This includes 60 to 80 kilograms of plutonium and anywhere from 280 to 1,500 kilograms of highly enriched uranium.
We've heard about satellite evidence as well. What have these observations revealed?
According to data from Satvu's HOTSAT-1 satellite in late 2023, there's been notable activity at their main nuclear facility, the Yongbyon Nuclear Scientific Research Center. The satellite detected thermal signatures from two reactors, as their 5 MWE reactor and what's called the experimental light water reactor. These signatures suggest they're either testing or beginning to operate these facilities.
And what about Kim Jong-un's recent statements? They seem particularly concerning.
Indeed, Grace. Kim Jong-un has taken a more aggressive stance, explicitly instructing his people to prepare for war with the United States in 2024. He's announced plans to mass-produce tactical nuclear warheads, and the country has made significant advances in their delivery systems, including successful tests of their HWASONG-18 intercontinental ballistic missile and the development of submarine-launched ballistic missiles.
With the presidential election coming up, how might this timing play into North Korea's strategy?
North Korean leadership has specifically stated they plan to implement their toughest anti-U.S. policy before any potential change in U.S. leadership occurs. However, it's worth noting that verifying their actual capabilities remains challenging due to North Korea's secretive nature and their continued refusal to allow international inspectors into the country.
Thank you for that comprehensive report, Ethan. We'll continue to follow this developing story. And now for our second story of the morning. Joining us to discuss what many are calling healthcare's best-kept secret is our healthcare correspondent, Chloe Martinez. Chloe, physical therapy seems to be evolving beyond what many of us traditionally think of it.
That's right, Grace. According to the American Physical Therapy Association, we're seeing a significant shift in how physical therapy is being utilized in healthcare. It's moving away from just rehabilitation and increasingly being recognized as a crucial preventive medicine tool.
What kind of costs are we looking at for someone interested in physical therapy?
Well, according to current market analysis, without insurance, patients can expect to pay between $75 to $150 per session. For a typical treatment period of 6 to 8 weeks with multiple weekly sessions, that could total anywhere from $2,400 to $4,800. And I should note that Medicare patients are facing some changes. Their 2024 physician fee schedule shows a 3.4% decrease in reimbursement rates.
Those are significant costs. But what about the effectiveness? Are patients seeing results?
The data is quite promising, Grace. Recent studies show that 86% of patients report positive outcomes from physical therapy, with men slightly more satisfied at 91% compared to women at 83%. What's particularly interesting is a study of 44 elite European soccer teams that found additional preseason physical therapy reduced injury-related absences by nearly 22 days per 1,000 hours of play.
And I understand there's been some progress in making physical therapy more accessible?
Yes, that's correct. According to current healthcare regulations, all 50 states now allow patients to access physical therapy directly without a physician's referral. However, insurance coverage varies significantly. Preventive visits typically run between $150 to $300 out of pocket, and most insurance plans require co-payments of $25 to $50 per session.
Thank you for breaking this down for us, Chloe. Really interesting insights into what's happening in physical therapy.
Thank you, Grace. And I should note that this report draws from data compiled by KESQ News Channel 3, KSTP, Reddit discussions, and Perplexity API analysis.
Here are some other headlines. Cable television pioneer Charles Dolan has died at age 98. The media mogul founded HBO and Cablevision and was instrumental in shaping modern cable TV. Dolan passed away from natural causes on December 28, leaving behind a legacy that includes the creation of AMC Networks and News 12, America's first 24-hour local news channel. Wyoming officials have approved the sale of state-owned land within Grand Teton National Park to the federal government for $100 million. The 1 square mile parcel has been the subject of decades-long negotiations, with $62 million coming from federal funds and the remainder from private sources. Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev has stated that a recent crash of an Azerbaijani airliner that killed 38 people was caused by Russian ground fire and electronic warfare. While emphasizing the incident was unintentional, Aliyev accused Russia of attempting to downplay the event. Hence, the Kremlin has acknowledged the activation of air defenses near Grozny, but stopped short of claiming direct responsibility. A series of tornadoes has left 2 dead and at least 17 injured across Texas and Mississippi. The severe weather system destroyed homes and infrastructure, causing over 45,000 power outages in Texas and 21,000 in Louisiana. The storm system continues to move eastward, prompting further weather warnings. New data shows that approximately 30% of online reviews are fake, costing consumers an estimated $759.6 billion in 2024. Major platforms like Amazon, Yelp, and Google are investing heavily in detection and removal efforts, with some sites removing up to 47% of suspicious reviews. And now for our third story of the morning. Belgium is making headlines as it prepares to become the first European Union nation to implement a groundbreaking ban on disposable e-cigarettes. Joining us to discuss this development is our health and environmental correspondent, Ethan Parker. Ethan, tell us about this ban.
Thanks, Grace. According to NPR's reporting, Belgium's ban on disposable e-cigarettes will take effect in just 3 days, on January 1, 2025. This makes Belgium the pioneer in the ECU for such comprehensive legislation.
What's driving this decision by Belgian officials?
Well, Grace, the Associated Press reports that Health Minister Frank Vandenbroek is pushing this ban forward with 2 main concerns in mind. First, there's the public health aspect, particularly regarding teenagers who can easily access these devices. Second, there's the environmental impact. These disposable devices contain hazardous materials, including batteries, circuits, and plastic, that often end up in landfills.
Can you give us a sense of how significant this market is in Belgium?
Absolutely. NBC News has reported some striking numbers here. By August 2023, disposable e-cigarettes made up 69% of all e-cigarette notifications in Belgium. What's particularly noteworthy is the market's explosive growth. We saw a 245.5% increase in notifications between January 2021 and January 2022, followed by another 44.6% jump by January 2023.
How are retailers responding to this upcoming change?
Interestingly, Grace, some retailers are already adapting their business models. For instance, Stephen Pomerank, who owns the Brussels Vapothek shop, has acknowledged the environmental concerns and is preparing to focus more on reusable e-cigarette systems. It's important to note that the ban only affects disposable devices. Reusable e-cigarettes will still be available for those using them as smoking cessation tools.
Is this part of a broader international trend?
Yes, it appears to be. Australia recently restricted vape sales to pharmacies only. And according to the Associated Press, Minister Vandenbroek is actively encouraging the European Commission to update tobacco legislation across all 27 EU member states. This Belgian ban could very well set a precedent for similar regulations throughout Europe.
Thank you for that comprehensive report, Ethan. We'll certainly be watching how this develops in the coming days. That's all we have for now. Today's episode was made by Alexander King with Claude Sonnet 3.5, the Perplexity API, and the Google Cloud Text-to-Speech API. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, Alex.